Are you ready for the bear show? Well, good. We better get started then. First of all, on behalf of the Clark family and all of our staff, I would like to welcome you to Clark's Trading Post. This is the home of Clark's trained bears and the White Mountain Central Railroad. My name is Murray Clark. I'm the youngest of two who work for the bears here. Also today, in the ring, you'll see my sister, Maureen Clark. And out of the two of us who work with the bears, I consider myself to be the most handsome. Not quite the reaction I was hoping for. Now we're here to see the bears perform, but before we bring them out to do that, we'd like to give you a little bit of background information to make this educational as well as entertaining. So we'll cover a few of the background facts and figures associated with these beautiful creatures. Now my family has been raising bears here since 1930. We are the oldest family of bear keepers here in New England. Our entire experience has been with the North American black bear, Ursus americanus, the bear of America. This is the year-round lifetime home for our bears, and this ring is a part of that home. They enter willingly to train and perform, and many times when the show is over, they go back home reluctantly. They've had such a good time out here in front of an audience. Now at this time, our bear family numbers 9. We have 5 on display in these enclosures over back, and we have an additional 4 across the road in 2 separate habitats. More about that in a moment. Now by far, the most common question that's asked us about our bear family is, how long do they live? And the answer comes in 2 parts. Out here in the woods of New Hampshire, we currently have an estimated population of wild bears that approaches 4,500 head, and they're on the increase. We'll probably never know how many for sure, though, because every time they hold a census, no one shows up. However, they are very common here in the White Mountains of New Hampshire, so if you're here on a visit, you're driving down the back road, you're out there hiking, camping, or fishing, you may see a wild bear. And if you do, please stay away from them. Don't try to get close. Do not feed them. Most of all, don't offer up a family member to have a picture taken with a nice bear. It ends badly for all those involved. Now currently, the Fish and Game Department tells us the average life expectancy for a bear out there is not very long. Somewhere in the neighborhood of 4 to 6 years. Now I'm sure some live longer than that, but that's the average. I can tell you this, our bears live much longer. They have a guaranteed living, a balanced diet, and we protect them. They're our personal property, our pets, and we extend their lives greatly over that of their wild cousins. The oldest one we have at present you will not see today. She's across the street in special quarters. She's living in a retirement community. She's over there with peace and quiet and shade. She has 2 houses to choose from, her own private swimming pool, 2 meals a day. She is collecting Social Insecurity, Medicare, and the meager interest they pay on her personal savings account. I'm speaking of a bear we've had here for many years. Her name is Moxie. She was abandoned by her mother as a sickly little cub in the Vermont woods. And the Vermont Fish and Game and the New Hampshire Fish and Game got together, and we were able to take her in and nurse her back to health. We raised her up in the kitchen of our home. I remember as a boy, sleeping with her at night on the couch to keep her warm and safe, and then in the morning she'd chew the heads right off of our G.I. Joes. Moxie is now 26 years of age. And that's not a record. The all-time best we've ever done raising a little cubby bear into old age. He's laid to rest in the flower garden right over there. And yes, there are bears buried over here. Some of our finest show bears in history. But the one I'm speaking of, we call him Old Fella. He lived with us here for 38 years, 7 months. And we believe that's a record for the North American black bear. Now many people are curious, what do we feed the bears here? Well, I want to reassure you, their diet is healthy. It does not consist of popcorn, candy, soft drinks, and junk food. If it did, it would be much cheaper for us to take care of them. Actually, the main diet, the meat and potatoes of it, is dog chow. Dog pellets. They think it's bear food. And we've never told them otherwise. We don't even show them the bag it comes in. It has a picture of a dog's face on the outside cover, and we don't want to come in some morning and find them barking and growing long tails. But of course, if that's only a dog chow, that would be rather mundane. So we augment their diet with quantities of fruit and vegetables, cod liver oil, and some other vitamins and minerals that attest to their health and long life here with us. Out in the woods, a different story altogether. They are creatures of opportunity. They start from the ground and they work up. They'll eat insects, grass, clover, sweet wild berries in the season. They can catch, kill, and eat small woodland creatures, chipmunks, squirrels, frogs, mice, and the like. Mr. Bear is omnivorous like you and I. He can live on meat and flesh as well as vegetation. And in the fall of the year, they climb up into trees looking for peach nuts, butternuts, acorns, and also apples. We feed our bears large quantities of apples in the fall to help fatten them up for the coming winter. And on occasion, we have seen one of our bigger male bears eat a bushel of apples in 20 minutes. A bushel is 40 pounds. One male bear, 20 minutes. When he's done, he's full of applesauce. And incidentally has become a walking cider press. Now many people are curious as to where our bears go in the winter months. Well, they stay here. They get out and go to sleep inside the wooden houses you see over back, be it on this side of the road or the other. If we have more than one bear in an enclosure, we provide additional housing. That way they can sleep together or separately. The arrangement is up to them. We board up the openings on the house except for one. That way they can come in and out as they so choose. We provide them with hay. They take it inside and they make a nest out of it, kind of a bowl-shaped depression. That's where they sleep for the balance of the winter. Up off the ground, high and dry, with a metal roof over their heads. Unlike their wild cousins out here, who burrow into the ground, perhaps they might find an overhanging ledge to den up under, or maybe a brush pile to den up inside. But it's a storybook idea to believe that the wild bears are out there living in giant hollow logs. Most of the trees in our neck of the woods are not big enough around to support that type of thing. However, there is always the exception to the rule. Now, we don't abandon our bears here in the winter months. No, we come down and check on them quite often. We'll come down and count noses. We take a bed check. We'll call to them. They stick their head out of the open doorway, and the first thing they want to know, what month is it? We give them the local news, the rundown on the political situation. But we never feed them when the snow is on the ground. We stop feeding our bears here on December 7th. From that point forward, no breakfast, lunch, or supper for 3.5 months. Now, if you think that's a hardship, think about their wild cousins out here. They go without food for 4.5 to 5 months every winter. Farther north in Canada, even longer than that. And they can only do it if they fatten up sufficiently in summer and fall and live on the fat tissue stored in their bodies. Now, those are just a few of the bear facts. The bear show started here back in 1949, the year my father, Murray, and my Uncle Ed decided that they were going to teach and train little cubby bears for show work. Sadly, in 2009, my Uncle Edward M. Clark passed away, and then in 2010, my father, W. Murray Clark, passed away. These two men started the bear show here over 60 years ago. And now with the help of my sister Maureen, we'll continue to do the show the best we can. Now one last thing before we start. This beautiful little poster of Tula Bear, she's one of the two cubby bears here at the trading post. We'll want to give this poster away to one of you folks during the show. This is how it's done. You need your general admission ticket, the yellowish piece of paper about so long. You got it at the railroad station on the way in. On the bottom are numbers. The numbers determine the winner. If you've got the tickets out and ready to go, it makes it faster to find you. Now I want to thank you very much for listening so quietly and patiently. Here comes our first performer, a little lady bear by the name of Echo. Come on, sweetheart. Come on, sweetheart, they want to see you.